So, why Everest? Why climb? Why put yourself at that risk? Why pay so much money to essentially sleep on a tent on the ground for 2 months? It's a question a lot of people ask, and I'm sure if I was new to mountaineering or had no interest in Everest, I'd ask it as well. Mallory, when asked 100 years ago, his response was, because it's there. A cool, confident response, but not really my reason for doing it. Because it's there gets quoted quite often, maybe incorrectly as well. It sounds like an ego approach, maybe over confident, but in some ways I think it speaks to the fact that it is there. The challenge exists, and for those that want to take it on, you can. And that's part ultimately of why it is I wanted to climb and why I will climb Everest. It isn't just about the summit photo, although I will definitely be getting that photo printed out and put it everywhere I can. It's not about taking it off the list. I do have aspirations for the 7 summits and other big mountains, but the real idea, the real reason for this is ultimately to see what I am capable of. If it wasn't Everest, it would likely be something else. Like the races I've done across the desert, other climbs, Ironman, Everest on this occasion is the means to really seeing what you're capable of. I have a full-time job, I have a full-time career, I'm relatively new to mountaineering, to the outdoors and climbing, playing team sports for the majority of my life, and after the last few years transitioning into these longer endurance events. On paper, this maybe isn't the area that I'm set to be or the environment I'm set to succeed in, but again, this is the idea, and this is why signing up for a challenge like this, to put the work in and really to see what you're capable and what you can achieve with the right plan, and ultimately the ambition to push yourself. Everest and many other things like this are events, I guess, where you can't hide. The training I do, and quite often I manage myself, is to ensure that success isn't down to someone else. It's down to the plan or the work I've put in. An event like this, and when things are comfortable, it can be easy. It's easy to say when the sun is shining, I'll go for the run. When it's raining, maybe less so. Everest, I'm sure, will have its challenges, like other events have had its challenges, but that's the reason you do these things. To prepare, to be able to be in a position to make the most of it, to come up against a challenge and hopefully overcome it. And I understand it. Everest gets a lot of bad press. We've seen the reports, the videos, the pictures over the last few years of the queues. Ultimately, people that maybe shouldn't be there paying to be there. Again, this is why I'm training, this is why I'm putting the plans in place, that I'm not there to be carried up or carried down. I'm not there for someone else to carry my gear and to do everything for me. I'm there to ensure that I can make the most of this challenge, that I can overcome it if that success or failure is down to the work I've put in. Because ultimately, Everest and a lot of the big mountains don't reward ego, and that's part of why we've seen those challenges. The mountains, the long endurance races don't care who you are, how many followers or lack of followers you have on social media. It's really there to see that the plans and training you've put in place, have they been enough? Have you prepared as best as possible to make a challenge like this possible, to succeed in an environment like this where really you're not supposed to be, and definitely not supposed to be above 8,000 meters. Now, these videos and things like this will quite often seem as here's another person with a camera trying to have a motivational setup online, and in reality that's not the goal here. Part of the reason I would have partnered and have partnered with the ISPCC is to show that regardless of your start, regardless of the circumstances, you can make things like this possible. That these things are possible and can be done so down to you. Regardless of where you came from, the money you have or don't have, that if this is something you really want to succeed, you can. And quite often it's down to you as that person to make it happen. I appreciate that might sound like yet another motivational piece, but it's not. This is what the likes of Everest and those endurance races have defined or represented for me, putting myself in a space where maybe I shouldn't have been there, but I am. And I'm doing the work to ensure that I succeed there as best I can. And look, I've been lucky in a lot of ways as well. I'm in Switzerland, I'm healthy, and these are things that people maybe can't say for themselves, but I don't want to take that for granted. And again, this is also why I've been documenting that journey. Another question people have asked is why put so much out publicly on YouTube, on Instagram, on other social media? Why have a website documenting this journey? Because again, to the idea of showing what is possible, to making this real, the idea was to show the reality of preparing for a climb like this. Showing what it's like, trying to do the training, trying to balance a career, trying to get some sponsors on board. This is really why a lot of this has been recorded. Is it comfortable? No, not only physically sitting here in the cold, but also as people walk by when you're trying to do the videos, when you're trying to film these things in gyms and you're wearing your large clothes. Again, these are all the things that if it was easy, it wouldn't be as rewarding. And this is why the idea of showing and documenting that has been a part of the journey. Again, the idea behind all of this is to show it's possible. And it doesn't have to be Everest. Maybe for other people it's drawing pictures, it's knitting, it's chess, it's collecting stamps, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be physical, but as long as it's what that person wants to do. For me, it is Everest. This is the thing I want to achieve. This is the bucket list item, the thing that's top of that list. People have asked, what's next? Where do you climb after? And there's some ideas, but for now, I'm not looking past Everest. This is the goal I've wanted and I've wanted for quite a long time. And what a position to be in to be able to make that happen. So hopefully this explains exactly or a bit more on why it is I want to climb Everest and why we're just under 90 days from flying out there. It's not going to be easy, and again, it shouldn't be because it won't be as worthwhile. But hopefully when those times are challenging or you're freezing or we're pushing for a summit bid, keeping front and center of why I want to climb will be important. But for now, that's it. And for anyone that's watched this, thanks for following the journey.